everybody, I'm back after like 2.5 months. Sorry for the radio silence. I don't even really have a great excuse other than that I've been really busy and kind of overloaded my plate with stuff. So I had to offload something, and naturally, since I don't collect any revenue for the podcast, it was the first responsibility I felt like I could temporarily put aside without my world collapsing. But like I said, the break was temporary. I do plan to keep the podcast going. However, I will be reformatting in some ways that I haven't really set in stone entirely, but a few things. I'm not going to stream and interview at the same time anymore, for kind of obvious reasons. I'm still going to make YouTube videos with the YouTube channel and kind of augment the podcast a little bit with the gameplay footage or images. So the YouTube channel is still going to be a thing. Probably change up the intro music. I'm not sure. I don't know. I really like making music, so that'll probably be a thing. Probably gonna change up how I find interviews. Probably gonna mostly hand select interviews from now on, and not over schedule, because I was kind of backed up there for a bit. The way I was doing it before was I was just taking them from the internet, basically. I had a form to help me with like a calendar and stuff, and it just kind of blew up. So I kind of stopped promoting that because there was too many. I didn't want to turn people away, but at the same time, like I was overdoing it. So luckily things kind of winded down naturally. But I do feel bad because I have like 3 interviews, including this one, and I'm super sorry I haven't gotten them out yet. They're still valid interviews. They're still like this one is, the game's still not out yet. So my bad totally, especially to the devs. I'll probably do things differently after these interviews. Things will probably start to change a little bit in sound and stuff. But yeah. So anyways, back to Indie Game Dev Report. Episode 12. Here we are, finally. I've got an interview with Solis Studios in South Africa. And I don't know, I didn't know anything about, I go into it in the interview. It's a lengthy interview. I did cut it down a bit. If you want the full thing, you can check out the video. I think that's going to be a little bit longer because it's hard to edit that type of stuff. So, yeah, check out the video if you want to see the whole thing. There's a little bit of gameplay in the middle. If you're just listening to it, don't get too worried. It's not very long. And then there's a lot of game design and game dev questions afterwards. So, just bear with the sound effects and the strangeness of it. It's a cool game. It's really great, but it's really not the best to try to stream and podcast at the same time, right? And in fact, there's not a lot of good games for that. So like maybe the original Toe Jam and Earl would be good for that, right? I could think of the games on like my hand, one hand maybe. Toe Jam and Earl being like my big thumb. I don't know. It's not exactly the easiest thing to do. So just bear with it and enjoy the interview. Okay, everybody, I've got an awesome interview today with Solis Studios. We've got Rob, Adrian, and I cannot remember your name.
Cornelius.
Cornelius. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
okay.
what it is.
So today I've got Hex, which is a hacking simulator, and it's a really cool project. Now, what inspired this project?
Please, Adrian, tell us.
Well, I guess for Adrian to answer. He's the one that normally comes with all the ideas for new games.
Who's that?
Adrian.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously you're not real hackers, I don't think, but I mean, otherwise it would probably resemble something a little bit closer to hacking. But this is actually pretty fun. It's it's almost like mini games are kind of they're like puzzle mini games tied together with like a beat the clock kind of sensation with also like a cooperative like situation.
Yeah, basically it's just because all the hacking games I've played before is quite realistic to the actual thing, and if you have a development background like I do, you won't enjoy it at all because it will be very confusing or either boring. So I feel Hex is pretty much an in-betweener for both, for people who don't know and people who have history with development. So it's just like a in-between middle because it's more arcadey and mini games, as you say, than actual hacking because you don't really get this interface when hacking.
Right.
So
yeah, I guess it's more just puzzle-based games in a hacking interface, if I could put it like that.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun playing it too, and it's like you can kind of pretend to be a hacker, but mostly you're just kind of like getting better at typing a few little things and clicking on the things, and you know it's fun. It's a nice little pretend thing.
yeah, it's a lot more Hollywood hacking than actual hacking.
Right. And in the demo, which you can just go up to Steam and grab if you check it out. I definitely recommend grabbing the demo. There's only a couple or a few different puzzles that you can do, but it's still super fun, and it's like it definitely is a good demo. But they actually gave me a code so I can play it here in a second. But I would like to go into your guys' backgrounds a little bit before we jump into the game.
Cool.
Who would like to start?
Well, basically, it's Corné and I have been friends since high school, and we've been collaborating on a bunch of different projects. And yeah, we got together. I can't even remember. I think it was during the week. Got together for a beer, and decided, hey, we've always wanted to make a game, and we really like video games, so why not just give it a try? And yeah, that's where we reached out to Adrian and kind of just went from there.
Wow.
Because I used to work for a digital signature company.
And decided, hey, we've always wanted to make
I
a
knew
game.
Corné from a friend. He's
really
my friend's brother. That's how I know Corné. And then when those Rob and Corné met and started talking about making a game, they both were like, we don't know how to code. And then Corné just actually recommended me because I know how to code, and that's how the whole thing started.
Yeah, because Corné is a graphic designer and I'm a sound engineer, so that's kind of, we figured those three elements, put them together, then we're covering all the bases basically.
Absolutely. Now, have you all worked on games before in other projects or other teams?
Not at all.
No, yeah, this is our very first game.
Wow, that's really cool. How about
Adrian had a bit of a background, I guess.
Yeah, I was playing around with game engines and everything.
With Game Maker, you say?
No, I was playing around with Unity when I was still learning everything, and I just created this little mobile game just for fun. The heck of it, a free game on iOS and Android. But that's about all experience I actually have from game development.
So that was your like baby steps into the industry?
Yeah, basically that's why I decided like I want to make games. This is fun, but never really had a graphic designer or a sound engineer because even that game doesn't have any sound. It's just like because I have no clue what goes on with sound. Because Rob will just come up with a bunch of sounds, like prototype sounds, and I'll say, yeah, this is great, this is amazing. But it's like it's just a prototype. It's not supposed to sound good. It's like, oh, okay. So,
yeah, you know, honestly, I'm really impressed with the sound. It lends itself to the background, but good sound does that in a video game. You know it's good sound when when it doesn't influence your like attention too much, but it drives your like fixation on the game.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the approach. Difference. Yeah, no, exactly, and that's the type of approach I tried to take with Hex, was to create the sound so that it's subtle, so that you don't necessarily know that it's there while you're playing, but if it's not there, then you immediately know, you know?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. But in this game, you do start to say like, wow, this audio is really good, but it's a subtle thing. It took me about maybe even like 5 minutes of playing before I picked up on, wow, this audio is like intense, like really good, because it just fits the game so well. Also, the graphic design qualities too. So I can see how this team is like perfect for this project. Now, did the idea form with the team, or did the so which came first, the team then, or the idea?
So we had yeah, go for it, Cornay.
Yeah, so when we met up, you know, we kind of threw some ideas around, and we started on a platformer, and we were working on that like also kind of like a limbo game, you know, Limbo.
I know of it. I actually haven't played it, but I've seen footage of it.
Yeah, so it's like a platformer slash kind of a horror game, but also solves puzzles. So we started on something like that, and eventually we kind of just put that on hold and moved over to Hex. So Hex was
more realistic idea.
Adrian's ideas, yeah, and it was like just something we could release sooner, and it wouldn't take as much time as a platformer, and it was a cool idea, you know. It's kind of unique in a way that, you know, there are similar games, but not really, you know, in this vein.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think we took a bit more of a I think we took a bit more of a unique angle in this genre.
Yeah, I think you did too. I really like it, and honestly, I'm actually working on something that's got like a cyberpunk feel as like a, you know, a future project, and there's going to be hacking in the game, so I'm definitely looking at all types of different hacking games, and your game has definitely influenced me. So don't be surprised to see something from your game in my game, because that's how much I liked it.
Oh, that's great! Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's only 8 puzzles now, and we're aiming for 8 puzzles per chapter. I haven't told Cornay and Rob about that, but I'm planning on making 8 puzzles per chapter. So, I think of a bunch of ideas now, but I think it'll be pretty sick to just keep the ball rolling, and just every time something new for each chapter, instead of having the same puzzles over and over, just getting like washed out.
Yeah. No, it's to me, from what I've seen and only the demo, it seems like it's just jam packed of ideas. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing a little bit more here. Before I was gonna ask something, and now I've kind of forgotten. So I guess I'm just gonna play it, and it'll probably come to me while I'm playing it here. All right, let me go back to my library here. And wait, was that?
So hopefully in the next 2 weeks or so, we'll have our first major update, and that'll definitely improve the tutorial and the intuitiveness of the game.
I turned up the audio here a little bit so the stream can hear it. So I'm gonna probably go back and adjust it if it's too loud, but I do want people to hear how cool this is. So I'm just gonna start the game here and it up first
so you've
level.
Decided to ditch the straight and narrow and try a hand at hacking.
You'll hear our amazing voiceover artist.
We have the perfect job for a noob like you.
That's Cornay.
The Central Bank of Beck is currently busy switching over to a new IT service provider, which means that this is the perfect time to execute a cyber attack. You have a small window of opportunity, so you'll have to be quick and keep your wits about you.
Now,
this bank contains 2 security measurement flaws,
namely the Keylogger, they won't be able to hear this part, so I'll have to edit
leaving
it.
2 open vulnerabilities for you to bypass in order to withdraw the recommended funds to your account.
Okay, so I'm just gonna hit the button here and start playing. I'm gonna go solo since I don't have someone else. I imagine that's pretty fun though. I'm sure you've tested it internally that way.
Yeah, I guess that's the main aspect of the game that we trying to sell is the whole co-op experience. It does make it more
the single
difficult
player
as well.
just so you don't feel obliged to buy 2 copies of the game, so you can still play on your own.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my dyslexia for you. What was it? 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. So, for the audience here, what I'm doing is I'm switching between the views with the tab. Now there's a timer, so I don't want to lose here. So I'm just gonna start playing here. We've got list, and it gives you all the commands. I'm gonna install the apps, and I did play this last night. Wow, there is a lot of apps here. Okay, so I'm gonna switch over and see what I need. All I need is this one and this one. So I'm gonna grab that one and that one. Alright.
We did not cater for this aspect ratio.
I'm sorry, what was that?
We did not cater for this aspect ratio. Some of the UI is a little bit lopsided.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna unlock what we got? Forest, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlock Forest. Oh. Did I do something wrong there?
Oh, you don't need the brackets.
Oh, we don't need brackets.
Yes.
Ah, see, I was playing the demo where it told you to put brackets in.
Oh, really?
Oh wait, no, you're right. Not for unlock. Yeah, so it was a little confusing there. All right, so after we unlock it, then we can access it, and I can type in some stuff. But I'm gonna launch that app first. So we're gonna do run, and then the node name, which was force.
Yeah.
Oh, that's and space.
You again don't need the brackets.
Okay, and so now I'm gonna just type in some gibberish here and switch. Oh, not caps lock. Switch, and let's see here. Now we get a list of. I'm gonna guess turtle, just because I like turtles. Turtles. Wait, I spelled it wrong. Turtle. Okay. It was wrong. Okay, but we've got less possibilities here, so I'm gonna go with people. Let's see. Nothing. Let's try circle. Oh, keep hitting the caps lock. Circle. Nothing. Try yellow.
Still stuck on 67%.
There we go. Oh no, I'm
Which
running
was
out
it?
of time.
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's got to be 11 then. So normally that one doesn't take as long. Alright, so now we exit.
There we go. See, this is where our new update will hopefully help.
Sure. And then this one was Keylogger?
Yeah, that's
yes.
correct.
Alright, so Keylogger's been unlocked. I can click on it now. And so here I'm gonna run Keylogger.exe, and now we've got let's see, I don't really remember how okay, now so these are,
so with this you start with hitting log, and then it shows you the possible letters that you have.
we'll just have to try that one again.
See, the idea with the new update will be to add a practice level, basically, so that you could do exactly what you did now, but without the timer. So you can
basically a training level for each node, as well as a guidance screen. So you have like a bunch of arrows or something. We're still working on the design for it, but we're just basically pointing to different parts of the screen which is important for the current mission or node. Just to help you like guide through everything, so you know what to do before you actually start the game.
Yeah, and then you can figure it out without having to worry about the timer.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. Obviously, the timer is a good aspect to the game, but it does make learning a little difficult. And it makes it a little bit frustrating, but it also makes you want to maybe some finessing there for sure.
Yes, a lot of the feedback is with regards to the tutorial and kind of the learning curve. Like you said, now it can be a bit frustrating trying to figure out the game when you're doing it to a timer.
There we go. Going a little bit faster here. Alright, so we're gonna close that one. We're gonna run. Oh wait, we need to unlock Keylogger. Right. Unlock. I cannot spell. Unlock Keylogger. Gonna run Keylogger.
At least we're improving the typing speed of people.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened? I spelled Keylogger wrong and it still worked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's something to look at.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't think it was gonna work, and then it did.
We'll make a note of that.
Oh, what do I have to do here? I clicked and it didn't stop.
You have to hit spacebar once the letter's in the block. See, again, that's where the update will make that more like intuitive and clearer. That you need to hit spacebar.
Let's see here. We've got for, Q, and at. There's at. Now we've got 1, U, and H. L1. There it is. Alright, now we've got S, E, and P. S, U, E, and explanation. Alright, so we've got those. And now, oh wait, we gotta start the transfer first, don't we?
Yeah.
Alright, so here, we're watching these little connection nodes, and now that one's blinking, so we're gonna turn it off. This is probably the easiest of the puzzles. It's not so much a puzzle, it's just kind of fun.
Yeah, we're actually looking at making it more difficult as you progress through the game. It's something we
because
at the moment.
There was a last moment thing because before there was no pipe, so you just had to sit there and watch as money flows in.
We figured it's kind of boring.
Quite boring, yeah. So we just add these little pipes just to make it a little bit more challenging as well. Just to hit you with the last puzzle, or not the last.
Oh, I wasn't watching the time.
You run out of time again.
Oh
no.
Well, that's you know, I wasn't paying attention, so that's how that works. But that part where you're transferring the funds, that is so fun because it feels like you're actually hacking at that point. Like all the mini games are out of the way. Now you're just doing some digital stuff and like hoping you don't get caught. And then someone's like obviously watching on the other side, turning off those valves on you, and you got someone on the inside who's like saying, "Hey, we're turning off these valves. Watch out." And it almost feels realistic in like this fun, like you said, Hollywood way. And it's just it's good. I like it.
And that's where the whole co-op thing comes in, where
So
if you've got two people playing it, on the one side the hacker he can see the timer, but the control side can see the pipes that need to be closed. You constantly need to be talking to each other to say, okay, close this pipe, close that pipe, open that up, and keep an eye on the amount that you're allowed to draw and the timer, obviously.
I'm getting a little bit quicker each time.
See, the more you play it, obviously, the quicker and the easier it gets. Once you know how the node works, it's easy to kind of do it.
Which is kind of fun because you feel like you're learning something, you're getting better at something, and yeah, maybe the replay value might not be as high as something else, but you're actually feeling like you did something, so it's still worth it. Alright, so school.
And I think that's where once we introduce more and more puzzles and the variation between all the levels, that that'll keep people playing longer.
Alright, so that one's taken care of. Now we need the keylogger. So we got a lot. Y, V, C. B. Got C. Explanation. W. Explanation. Alright. R, A, O. Explanation. H-J-U-T-K.
This one's virus.
I don't see an S. Oh, it's a 5.
That's a 5. Yeah.
Little curveball there.
Okay. So now we need to start the transfer. It's a little bit of a memory game. Start.
Transfer.
Oh, wrong one. That was kind of weird though. I clicked on the wrong one and then it opened up. Oh, it's because I clicked on the error. It must have through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had rate cost on the pop-up. It goes through it.
It's okay. Oh, wait. I'm doing that wrong. Alright. Running out of time here. How much money am I supposed to get? I don't even know.
26,000.
26.
But if you stop...
26?
Yeah, even if you don't get up to 26 and you stop the transfer before the time runs out, you get to keep what you've transferred so far, and you won't fail.
All the pipes.
Oh no!
Sure. You want to do this mission over again, don't you?
See, that's where I think if we increase the number of pipes to 6 pipes, maybe even more, then things would get really intense.
Sure. You might want to check on the time there. I think it's running out.
Oh yeah, no, I actually just ended it.
Oh, the stream is a little bit of delay.
So I got some money.
Nice, cool, 16,000.
So, does that mean I can check the next mission or no?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You're probably...
As long as you complete the mission, you can go on to the next one.
I could listen to it, but... Oh, I don't have to. So if you click forward and then back, it doesn't replay the audio. But that's okay. I'm not sure if you want that or not. Because if you've already heard it, you might not want to hear it again. But
Yeah.
It's just a story about what you're doing, right?
Yeah, we put a bit of a story to the single player mode.
It's just Cornet's voice in full HD.
It's not that I don't care about the story, it's just that I really want to hack right now.
I just want to hack.
What was it? Force and injection? Alright. Okay, we're going to unlock force and run force. It needs a space, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Here we go. Alright, we got it open. Type in some... Oh, that helps. Okay, nice.
Oh, wow.
Alright, so next is injection, so we're gonna unlock that one. So the hacker can open it, unlock, and... Oh, that's not how you spell it. And then run injection. Alright. So here, this is cool. You're kind of stuck with these pieces, and then you rotate them to make it kind of work for the pattern that you're going to fill in on this side. And I love pipe dreams. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I'm sure there's like a bunch of like pipe dream like stuff out there, but like this is great. And honestly, I haven't seen a whole lot of pipe dream like stuff, so I think
yeah,
this is a good thing.
I think this might be one of the first nodes that we kind of developed into the new method of our game, because initially we started with the whole idea very similar to it's called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, where the one person's got an actual PDF in front of them, and it would have been Control that has a PDF and you explain. But we figured we wanted to make it more interactive, so that you don't have one person just sitting and reading, or we wanted both players to have to do things on their side simultaneously, so that both are kind of engaged in the game.
Sure.
And I think that's why I said this was one of the first nodes that we kind of tried the whole interactive idea on.
I really kind of wish I had a second person to play this with. And is there any online capabilities for this or no?
Yeah, this is online. The multiplayer is online.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I just haven't gotten that far into looking into it.
Adrian, you don't want to jump on a game there?
Oh, we can, but we still need to have a Steam invite first, because it uses Steam's peer-to-peer relay server, so it has to be...
yeah.
And with this kind of game, would you be able to play it with the what is that? Oh no! I lost the pipe. Was it direct play with everyone or something like that Steam calls it? Are you guys familiar with that? I forgot.
It's basically like online couch play.
Yeah. With this game.
Yeah, no, it's no, because you won't have the switching around between two screens, because you'll both have to see different screens. So it's
I see. Good point.
Could give that a lot more time.
Oh, the time. Good call. It's interesting because you only see the time on the side where you don't see the red. So.
Yes, that's where it makes it a lot more challenging in co-op.
I like it. Yeah. I should open that back up. Well, maybe not. I was doing much better at this last night. At the pipes, at least. Come on.
Might as well just stop on there, right?
Did I go over?
Yeah, you did. Oh my.
Just a little bit though.
So close.
You're probably...
It's funny because I keep thinking that Cornelius is about to say something, but it's just his voice acting. Okay, install apps. What was it? Injection. Alright. Lock. Force. Run. Force. Oh, I'll put a space there. Alright. Alright, that wasn't too bad. We'll run injection, or unlock injection. And then we will run injection. With the space. Okay. Yeah, and for parts of this where it gets kind of quiet, I'll edit it out for the podcast, so the podcast will be a little bit shorter than the video, but...
No stress.
Yeah.
No worries.
Is someone outside? I can hear some birds.
Yeah, I'm outside. I'm not at home, so.
Well, we're glad to have you. Even with the
Yeah, you can hear those howdy-dos from a mile away.
Alright, so now we gotta start. Transfer. Okay.
So, one of the next things we're going to introduce is actually being able to use the in-game currency. So,
Yes.
we want to bring in like a kind of market thing where you can buy, I don't know, just things to help you with the puzzles and maybe like stop the timer for a bit and, you know, those kinds of things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
like
make it a
auto
bit
unlocker
more-
and
or even cosmetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like all of this UI, like they're like hacking devices and stuff, they look cool, but they could look different, you know, if you had like, you know,
a black and
obviously
green
they
theme
work.
or something like that.
Yeah. These ones definitely work and I like them, but you know, there could be more options, is all.
Yeah,
Good luck,
that
works
is
for
something.
Cornet.
Yeah, that is something we have been thinking about, and all kinds of different things that you can do with the currency.
Right, so I can't go over, so I better just stop it now. No? Revenue threshold surpassed.
The maximum is 21,000. You went over to 21,900.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Over by 900? Oh man.
Yeah, you were.
I thought I had it.
No exceptions.
No exceptions if you want to over.
Alright, well I'll give it another shot here. And if I can't do it this time, we might just have to do some chatting. 1, 2, 3, 5.
We're very strict with the amount that you're allowed to steal.
Right. I can't spell. Okay, I think it's, yeah, the same ones. Oh. Run. So, how long has the game been in development?
Well, we actually, like I said earlier, we started off with the whole idea with the PDF, and we initially started, I think, in March, was it? Then
we started planning in February, and then we actually started development in around about middle of March.
Yes, and then in April we kind of redid everything, because that's when we decided now we want to make it more interactive, and that's where we brought in the whole control side. So we had to rework all of our puzzles so that you've got two sides to it, that where both players are actually physically doing something. So yeah, basically I would say proper development probably started in April.
I cannot spell Savannah apparently. Savannah. We don't have a lot of those here. I already spelled
Savannah.
Savannah.
It's dry.
Alright, there we go. Oh, already did that one. Injection.
I guess, like Adrian said, now the game's only been in development for 4 months, so hopefully people will be a bit more forgiving for any development issues and things still happening.
No, I mean the fact that it's this polished is amazing in 4 months, really.
Yeah, we just don't really take aspect ratios into account, so we only really support 16:9. So you can see here this injection screen is quite a little bit messed up.
Oh yes.
Oh, we'll add support to that later.
I mean, I don't even see what you're talking about, you know. So it's one of those things when you're really deep into it, you see deeper, you know. You're gonna see things that not everyone sees.
Yeah. As this is just bothering my OCD everywhere.
What was
Fortunately, I'm not able to see it.
Yeah, I think we've spent so much time on these nodes and puzzles and levels that any small detail that might be a bit off, just it feels very jarring to us.
Yeah, like this injection puzzle was a headache because there was this one bug that just didn't want to go away, where if you have a valid flow, it will still fail you.
Oh, really?
I spent like, I think 2 weeks, day and night, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, why is this thing failing.
So
and more and more people started complaining about it, and eventually I got the issue.
That's the worst, right?
Yeah, it was something stupid, I can't remember what it was, but like, if you click on something we shouldn't click, and then all of a sudden it just messes up the whole thing. And it's something that people click a lot often.
Yeah, this is actually a really hard game to play and interview at the same time.
It's very level of focus.
I can hear you focusing.
Right. Like, I'm trying to listen, and I'm trying to ask questions, but at the same time, I'm trying to hack this bank. I've only got like 38 seconds left.
Maybe we'll make that the final level. The most difficult part is you have to hack while interviewing someone.
Also answer questions while you're hacking.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
I think you might want to stop right now.
Did it, I stopped.
Nice.
Greed is seed.
Okay, so now I can go to the North Hill County Bank. You got a lot of banks on here. So are these actual banks?
North Hill's my high school.
I was gonna say,
We're
like,
surprised you
some
got this
banks
far,
would
but
get
hey.
upset, you know?
They're all made up. Just some of Afrikaans words translated into English and all that.
So is the are the images then like stock photography then, or?
Yeah, that's stock photography. That's just edited from Cornet, where you like add the logos and everything onto the banks.
I love it. Alright, so now I haven't done this ghost one yet. That's interesting. Let's see what that one's called. It's called Ghost.
Yeah.
So let's try it. Let's unlock Ghost. And then we'll run Ghost. Oh, I gotta install it first. What was the other one? Protection and Keylogger. Okay. Run Ghost. Alright. I have no idea what I'm doing here. This looks cool though.
What was that aspect ratio? So basically you need to check the lights on the hacker side, and at the top of the control interface you need to select the same lights, and it'll show you which frequencies you need to scan.
Oh well, this aspect ratio is messing up the ghost on control.
So if you go to those little dots at the top of the control console,
The dots at the top of control.
yes, just above the 2000. Those numbers that are all.
Ah, I didn't
And
even
then you
notice that you
select-
could click on those. Okay.
You see.
Yeah, but the aspect ratio is messing up with the UI, so they're
Oh, I
buried
do see
behind
that.
text.
I do see that.
You see, and then it shows you which frequencies to scan. So then you set the frequencies on the hacker side as the same.
Oh, wow. There's a lot to this one. Okay.
Yeah, this one's a bit more involved. And then you hit play, and then you have to listen out for a word. And then you type that into the boxes on the control side.
Side, and then the lights will change on hacker side.
Yes, and then you kind of repeat the process.
I think I'm missing a step. These 1 and 5, the 1 through 5 on the hacker side, what do those do?
That's the
first
end
you-
goal, is to transmit on those channels. So to go to those lights,
Okay.
yeah, so you want to find a word on the left for control side, and then as soon as you press submit for control, it will show you which channels you need to submit or transmit.
I'm not hearing any words though. I'm hearing static.
Yeah, you have to scroll the
waveform.
Oh.
yeah.
November.
Yes, so then that means you have to type an N on the control side in those little blocks.
Oh, just N.
Yes, and then you repeat the process, because you'll see once you've typed it into control, the lights will change on hacker's side.
Oh wow. This one takes a while.
It is a bit more involved, yes.
It's okay. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's just one of those things that you kind of have to learn once. Now it's saying alpha.
Yes, so then A on control side.
Alpha.
Romeo.
Ah. I could have sworn I heard him say apple. So, what happens when it's red then? Is that after you've, like, failed that one?
Oh, then the funds get subtracted from your final transfer amount.
Oh, you actually lose money?
You're probably...
Yeah, you get
yes,
filling
yeah.
a node.
So are you able to then continue hacking after that node's, like, discontinued or whatever?
Yes, if you fail a node, you can still continue.
Okay. You just have to unlock
Yeah, so
it.
you have, for each mission, you have different...
Wait, this isn't the one I wanted.
It does subtract from your errors, doesn't it?
Yeah, so you have, like, for each mission, you have a certain amount of errors you can make. So I think this mission you're allowed one error, so you can continue on, but if you failed more than once, then you failed the complete mission.
Let's see. Alright. You know, I haven't been looking at chat at all, but I don't think there's anyone really chatting. If you guys are watching the chat and you see anyone chatting, you know, I haven't been looking at chat at all, but I don't think there's anyone really chatting.
We'll keep an eye on
If
it.
you guys are watching the chat and you see anyone chatting, you know, I haven't been looking at... Alright, yeah, no, I doubt that anyone's really watching, but it's just because it's early.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Honestly, I don't really stream all that much, so sometimes, you know. I'm just gonna start this one over because I wasn't paying attention.
No worries.
Yeah, for some reason I keep hearing the stream, like, cutting out and stuff. Must have it in the background or something. Okay, it's better now.
We're surprised.
3158. Alright, I'm gonna try this ghost one again. Because that was cool. What is it? Oh, I gotta unlock it first. Run, unlock it. Okay, so this one, thousands.
Charlie.
I think it's saying beer. Hope it's not deer.
Oscar. 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 November.
Jurassic Park.
What? So you'll see all the all the letters that you're getting form a word, and once you get that word correct, then it'll show you the right channels to transmit and receive on. So you'll just have to reorder the letters so that they form.
You can move these?
The correct.
I guess I'm not really understanding what you mean.
Just on control side, the letters that you've typed in. I'm just trying to figure out what the word is there.
I don't know. I think I got it wrong. I was having trouble understanding what they were saying. But you know, it's like kind of garbled and stuff. But
yeah, the idea is the closer you get to the correct frequency, the clearer the audio becomes.
Well, it's a difficult one. Definitely takes.
Once you get the hang of it, it's quite easier.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Like all of the nodes on this thing, it's just gets easier as longer you play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get back to some more questions on the project. Did you study? Did any of you study in college or outside of high school?
Yes, I studied sound engineering, but more with a focus on music and then television, so films and series and that type of thing.
Oh wow! So did you get your chance to work on anything, or did you just change from film to games right after studying?
No, I'm currently working on some series at the moment. I'm jumping between series and ads. That's my main job at the moment, and then kind of on the side doing the games while we're trying to get things up and running.
That's super cool. I imagine that there's like a lot of crossover as far as
yeah,
sound.
It's basically it's the same approach. The big difference between the two is just the fact that games are non-linear, so you don't necessarily have a timeline where you start at 0 and you hit play and then the sound always plays back exactly the same way. But a lot of it is the way you approach creating the sounds. It's still the same as you would in TV and movies.
Yeah. Now, as far as making the sounds go, do you rely a lot on source materials that you find and then you edit and merge together with other source materials, or do you do a lot of recording on your own? What's kind of like your pipeline?
Well, with Hex, a lot of it is sourced material that I combine with some of my recorded stuff I have recorded. So, like the ambience playing in the background is actually a campfire that I combined with. It's basically just a bunch of different fire sounds that I messed up a lot and processed very heavily to sound Because
There's also rain falling on the roof.
Yes, yes. At times you can hear some rain falling, but again, you're not going to know that it's rain because it's so heavily processed. I just struggled to find the exact sound that I was looking for, so I kind of went back to my approach that a lot of the times when I'm writing music, I try to take a sound and then I just mess it up as much as I can to see what I can find. So I just kind of went with that approach. So I took something that's completely non-related to anything in a computer and in like the hacking world, and I just messed it up until I found what I was looking for.
That's so cool, and I do the same thing. I mean, I mostly do retro music and audio these days, so I don't find myself using as much source material. But definitely when I was in college and after college, I definitely love using source materials. Do you have any favorite sites that you go to for like royalty-free sounds or stuff like that?
I've been using a lot of Zapsplat.
I've never heard of that one.
I came across it like 2 or 3 months ago. Just zapsplat.com.
How do you spell it?
ZAPSPLAT.com.
Zapsplat.
Yes. Obviously, with a lot of their sound effects, if you have a free account, you have to attribute the sounds. So we have obviously done that in the game. So, but yeah, they've got great sounds there. You can also get I think it's a gold account or something, where you don't have to credit them, but they've got so many great sounds that you can use.
Very cool. Yeah. I use a site called freesound.org.
I have used some of their sounds before as well. But for this project, it's mainly been Zapsplat.
Very cool. Very cool. I definitely appreciate you sharing that with our listeners. I'm sure they appreciate it too. Oh yeah, I'm looking at these amazing sample packs. There is a lot of sample packs here. Really,
pretty much anything you can think of, they'll have it.
Yeah, cartoon sounds. It looks like there's different city sounds. Grinder on metal. I like that. Angle grinder on metal. That probably sounds pretty cool. Paper. There's a whole sample pack for paper. Yeah, and then a retro game one. Yeah, this is a really cool resource. I really appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
How about anyone else on the team? Do you have any tools that you use that you'd like to plug or shout out?
I basically use Unity, so Cornet might have more.
You're a big Unity fan, you say?
Yeah, Visual Studio. That's the two tools I use for Unity and Visual Studio.
Understood. Cornelius, how about you?
Well, mainly for like photos and stuff, I'll use Pixabay or Pexels. So they've got some nice royalty-free like stock images, and then for vector stuff, I'll use freepic.com, I think.
Okay.
So a lot of those, I'll kind of get an idea of what I want to do and tweak it to, fit to our look, and but they've got some great stuff on there as well.
Very cool. So yeah, you don't want to go to freepic.com though, because that's pornography.
Oh, wrong side, Cornet.
That's actually what I've been using. Haven't you seen the image?
This is a different hacking game.
I mean, I keep that tab open, is what I mean.
Nice.
Yeah, it's with a K. It's P-I-K.
Yeah, don't make the same mistake I just did. Luckily, I didn't do it on stream.
Yeah, the Switch is really...
Thank God for multiple monitors.
Tell me about it.
Okay, now that the red is now leaving my face here, let's see. Trying to think of some good questions here. Still, my brain is still on the images that I just saw. Okay, so Rob, you're obviously influenced by film. And you mentioned Hollywood as far as how the theme is and how it appeals. How would you say film has inspired you in this game in Hex?
Well, for this I've drawn a lot of inspiration from Westworld, especially the latest season. Okay. I'm a massive fan, and I'm also a big fan of the composer of Westworld, Ramin Djawadi. So I just love the types of sounds that he used in the score for season 3, and I've kind of based a lot of my sounds and I don't know, we don't have a lot of music, but the song playing in the main menu, I've based a lot of my sounds off of the kind of approach he took for the sound in Westworld, the synths and stuff like that. So that has definitely been a big influence. And I kind of like the idea that with Westworld, where they've got the old Western feel and then the high-tech robotic feel to the sounds as well.
Now, I haven't actually watched the show myself. I've heard a lot about it, and many people have told me to watch it. And I probably should just go and watch it.
It's a great show.
Yeah. It sounds like it because it's got elements of, well, like I haven't seen it. You would describe it better. But it's
basically combining two completely different worlds into one, and I just love that whole concept.
I love that too. How about anyone else? Anyone else have any inspirations from film or any type of other media?
I think in general, like Adrian said the other day, that we're kind of a sci-fi simulator, which, I mean, technically the game isn't sci-fi at all, but it's got a very sci-fi feel to it, Also kind of cyberpunky almost. So like a lot of my stuff also we go for the like glitchy look and distorted, like distortions and very kind of sci-fi-ish look. But we also, we like obviously being gamers ourselves, we get a lot of inspiration just from all sorts of games. I mean, I bought the new remastered version of BioShock, so I've been playing that a bit, and there's a lot of cool little things you can kind of draw inspiration from.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's just accumulation of that.
And it looks great, like all the graphics and stuff, and like you're saying, like the digital effects, the glitchiness, it all works really well.
That's all Cornay is doing.
And it matches the narrative. I mean, obviously there's not a ton of narrative to the story, but there is. There's obviously the voice acting as well. So you're kind of running the show. No, I'm just kidding. But it looks like it, because you're taking care of the story, basically. You're presenting the story. Who's writing the story? Is that kind of everybody, or?
Cornay.
That's mostly Cornay as well.
Oh my. Well, I guess if you have to be the one that says the stuff, you might as well be the one that writes it too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can kind of figure out what works and what doesn't work. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, the graphic elements in this game it's not very time consuming. So, I've kind of
it's very minimalistic style.
As well, and yeah, it's very minimalistic. We want to make it more, as we go on, we add a few more elements and we make it a bit more, interactive and with more animations and.
Yeah, we're adding a whole facelift to
new idea. Yeah.
Well, it looks fantastic. I mean, I could see that. Obviously it's still in early access, so it's still getting polished. but from what I can see so far, the graphics are amazing. And like you said, it's minimal, and it might not be taking you that much time, but you're clearly very good at what you do, and you're making great design decisions along the way, and the minimal decision is helping. It's definitely a plus.
Yeah, it helps that, you know, Adrian also he's got a good creative eye, so he kind of lays out the look, and he kind of just tells me what he has in mind, and then I spice things up.
It improves it a lot.
Yeah.
But
there's
yeah, I mean, it's also a work in progress. So
sure.
we've come a long way from the first designs, I think.
Yeah, we saw the first build where everything's just basically black and white, no moving parts, just a bunch of different scenes, just static.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think also our whole approach with this, especially because it's our first game, has kind of been trial and error. So that's I think why we're constantly still updating things, changing, seeing what works, what doesn't.
We're still listening to all the players as well. And okay.
Go ahead.
So we have this F1 console. If you press F1 in game, you can actually give your suggestion or any bug reports. So we're also always reading that, so what the players have in mind, or what they're complaining about, or what they don't like, or just as like a cool idea they want to add in the game, and we read it and we actually consider a lot of these ideas. And also update a lot of the, feels like, for instance, Hannah, where a lot of people were complaining about Hannah not being of any help. So we decided to just give it a complete rework, redo the whole tutorial, and just also add a whole training room.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be a great idea. Now this, I pulled up the bug report real quick. Now, how did you code this into Unity? Is it sending an email? What's actually going on behind the scenes here?
We have a project board we use. You probably know about it. It's called Trello.
Oh sure.
And yeah, so we use that, and then Trello has a lot of nice APIs that can be called from any system. So I just implement that into the project itself. So every time somebody report a bug, it just sends an API with their message and a screenshot of the game to our Trello board.
Really?
Into the right bucket. So if it's a recommendation, it falls into the recommendation bucket, and if it's a bug report, it falls into the bug reports bucket.
Wow, I really wish I knew how to do that.
They have a lot of nice documentation on their website as well, how to use it and how to call their APIs through Unity.
I'm definitely going to look into that. Thank you for explaining that. I did not know that Trello was that capable.
We used to use another task manager system, but we moved over to Trello when I saw these API calls I had.
Wow.
It does make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Just keep track of everything.
Of course, we have the Discord. You can contact us on our Facebook and all our social links there at the bottom of the game.
Yeah, sure. I think I might have too many Discords, but I'll try to join. If I can,
welcome.
I'll join
We're trying to grow this community.
Account. What's that?
Yeah, if anyone has... Sorry, I think I was interrupting Adriana.
Yeah, I was just saying we're still trying to grow the community of Hex, so the more people join, the better, because we're always up to for suggestions or any great ideas the players have.
Yeah, any suggestions, any issues that they might pick up, they're more than welcome to just get in touch on our Discord server.
I am at my limit on my Discord servers, but I'm going. What I do is I started a second account so I wouldn't run out. So I'll add you on my second account.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. I still use it. It's you know. But yeah, definitely go check this game out, everyone. Go join their Discord and help them develop it. Obviously, they've got a ton of cool social links on the demo and on the game itself. If you want to join the early access, you can get all of the different levels and stuff. You know, the different nodes. You get access to all the different puzzles and stuff. On the demo, there's just a couple on there, a few different puzzles on there, and it's still really fun, and it teaches you, you know, or at least you can see if it'll work on your system, that type of stuff, if it's something that's, you know, your cup of tea. But it's pretty cool, so I'm definitely thinking about grabbing the It's only $10. It looks like for the early access. Are you planning
Yeah.
on changing the price when it's fully done, or what? Is there a plan on that, or is it still too early to know?
No, we've decided to just keep the price at $10.
Oh, it's a
Yeah, we
great
wanna-
price. That's like a impulse range.
Yeah, we wanted to make it as easy as possible for everyone, for literally anyone to have access to it and be able to buy the game.
I also contacted Steam to because we wanted to create like a 2-pack deal where you basically get like you can buy 2 for the price of 1.5 basically, so you get 50% off if you buy 2. But Steam no longer allows any 2-pack deals.
Okay.
So they say we just have to like when there's festivals or summer events, summer sale events, and all that, and we can just up ourselves on that. But
Yeah,
we
I think
really
that'd be
would have
great.
liked to have a 2-pack deal, since this is
Sure.
heavily focused on multiplayer.
Yeah. And the Discord's probably a good spot to meet up with people that already own the game, right?
Well, yeah, like we said, we're still growing the channel, but we have a dedicated partner recruitment channel where you can just like hop in and ask people if you want to play a game, and then get replies from there.
Yeah, so like right now, if you jumped in, you might have to wait for someone to respond and then line up a date or something. But in the future, when more people find out about this, hopefully that channel gets pretty full.
Yeah, so we're aiming for.
That's the aim.
Very cool. Yeah. No, I can't wait to join. Like I said, I'll do it after the podcast. But yeah, for sure, I would like to see other people playing. So I definitely want to jump in. Have you guys talked to publishers at all?
We are currently working with Albertino from
Super Indie Games.
Yes, they've been helping us out a lot. They've been great.
So you're already partnered with them? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Well, it's not really a publisher. It's it's more of
the PR
marketing. Like
yes,
PR.
yeah, I guess it's more PR.
And I imagine you have nothing but good things to say about them, or?
They've been a lot of help.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend them for anybody else trying to make or trying to release or getting the name of games out there.
What kind of stuff have they helped you with?
Basically, it's getting a lot of influencers, YouTubers, Twitch streamers, just a bunch of people asking for keys to like play on their channels or on their
review the
Twitch
game
accounts,
and
write articles, and like Rob says, reviews.
So that sounds fun. Has that been pretty fun?
Yeah, it's really fun to read all the. Yeah, it's so fun to read all the different articles people write about the game and how they see the game. Of course, you get the little bad apple every here and there, but we're always open for constructive criticism.
Yeah, that's how you get better, right? I mean,
yeah.
Sometimes you're going to get negative reviews, even with a positive game, even with an awesome game. Someone can come up with a reason why it's not perfect for them.
Yeah, of course, not every game is for everybody.
Yeah, it's impossible to please everyone.
It might suck as a developer to be like, oh, that review doesn't mean anything, really.
Yeah, it demotivates you a little, but then you always check out the other guys, and like they actually enjoy the game, so you just keep on going.
Yeah.
That and there's always something you can learn from almost every review.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You take the positives from it and kind of leave the rest. It is difficult not to initially feel offended when someone says anything negative about your game. It's almost like you
tried so hard and
you've put in so much work into it, and then someone says no, they hate it, which they're completely entitled to say. It's just difficult to not always feel offended. It's like someone saying, hey, you've got a really ugly baby. So
if your ugly's baby, or if your ugly's baby, no, if your baby's ugly, you probably want to know, right?
Yeah.
But exactly, you take the positives from it and kind of just move on.
Yeah, totally. So like you mentioned earlier, this game's kind of got like an arcadey feel to it, and I love that. I love arcade type games. Is there a influence of that type of game obviously. Like, what kind of games have you guys been playing in your past?
Not games like this, to be honest.
We play different games. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, let's hear it.
Cornet and I play a lot of Rust. We really enjoy that game.
Rust, okay.
Yeah, I'm a big survival game guy. A lot of people don't. It's not their cup of tea, but I really enjoy those type of games. Actually, one of our own goals is to make a survival game, but we'll need a lot more than just 3 people to be able to do that.
Sure. One of my favorites was The Forest. I like that survival game.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not a
Really
big
interesting story.
online guy, so I really like the idea of like being alone in the woods. It seemed like a scarier game that way.
The Forest was very scary when it first came out. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. After a few years, it's not as scary because you can just beat the crap out of those guys until there's too many, and then they drag you off into your cave, right?
Yeah. With their 6-legged whatever the mutant thing was.
Yeah. That was a good one. How about everyone else? Is it all survival games for everyone?
I play. Well, I play a whole lot of Dota. Maybe too much.
Dota?
Way too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way too much. But yeah, I mean, since I was small, I've been playing a lot of. I really enjoyed the Elder Scroll games.
Cool. Excited for the new one?
So,
I'm very excited for number 6.
I've actually been following that. I don't know if you know Skywind, where they take it's like a volunteer thing, but these guys put Morrowind into the Skyrim engine.
Oh wow! No, I have not heard of that.
Yeah.
That's super interesting.
Go Google it. They released a gameplay demo on Friday night, I think, and it looks.
Oh really?
It looks.
We actually submitted a few years back. Cornet and I actually submitted some sounds and some voice samples a few years back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if they actually used it.
It's all on a volunteer basis.
So what I'm gathering is that you like 3D first person type stuff. So something like this is not exactly something that you play all the time, but it works really well. How did you do that?
I actually really like the idea of throwing up that explodes, but I like playing with people. That's how my game types are, and yeah, this is heavily focused on communication and playing with somebody.
Yeah. What's that one called? You said Keep Talking and No One Explodes. Is that what it is?
And Nobody Explodes. Yeah, that game.
Yeah, no, I haven't actually played it, but I've seen a lot of footage of it. I live by myself, so I don't really have an optimal situation to play co-op style games like that or asymmetrical games or anything like that. But I can watch the videos, and it seems like a really cool game, and I can definitely see where you got some inspiration from, especially with the switching between the control and the hacker. Very cool.
Yeah. I think that's we said now, a lot of us, we're all into the 3D style games, so I think that's definitely something we're going to edge more towards with future
next game is going. I already have an idea for a lot of future releases, like Cornet and Rob told. But definitely when Hex up and running and finished or completed, then we can start. Or we want to. I can't really say too much because I'm afraid I might not step on my word. But next game will be 3D for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's really easy when you're in the middle of or when you're polishing up a project. It's really easy to get excited about your future projects. But there's still scope to worry about and team and all of that stuff. So I can.
You won't get too far. Yeah.
But that's great that you're excited, because you know what that means that means you're having a good time in the project that you're working on, and that's huge, right? Because if you don't,
kill the passion.
Yeah. So far the process has been just blast from start to finish. Except when Adrian has to maybe fix my coding errors, but other than that, it's been great.
Yeah, I think we could like half the development time if Rob didn't touch the code, but you know.
Unfortunately, the whole trial and error approach, I've been doing that with the coding as well, so it hasn't always worked out that well.
You started learning how to make variables in code, and that's when you started coding on Hex, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah. Luckily, I am a lot better now, but those first couple of months, first couple of weeks.
I'm still trying to clean off that code you wrote.
Yeah. You gotta like branch or something, right?
Yeah, we didn't think about that before this, so actually want to do the next project is going to use Git, but currently we're using Unity's collaborating system, which doesn't have branching, unfortunately. So I'm just cleaning all the issues up.
It doesn't have branching, but if you don't send it until it works, that's usually a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, but not that to Rob.
I had to learn that the hard way.
Oh, right. That's good, though. So, obviously, there was, and there's always going to be speed bumps when you're developing a game. But, like you said, you're having fun along the way. So, what kind of tips do you have to keep it fun? Like, because sometimes you've heard of development hell. We've all heard of it. We're all afraid of it.
Yeah.
How do you avoid development hell?
The way I do, I'm not sure about Cornell and Robert, but how I do it, I actually pull them in with me. But when I get like frustrated or bored with one thing, I start doing something exciting or something new for the game, and then that motivates me up again. Then I go back to the issue I had before.
I love it. That's good. Anyone else want to chime in?
I think on my side, it's mainly just not being afraid to explore, different things and trying something completely different and
break some shit, fix it later.
Yeah, break it, see what happens, and then kind of just constantly creating something new.
Commit first, ask questions later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm all in, all or nothing.
Oh, I love it. I'm just making fun of you. I'm sure you're great.
I'm not. He's terrible in coding.
Well, we can all be amazing.
No.
Yes, doing sound is rather my strong point.
Yeah, if I have to touch anything sound-wise, this game will be an ear-bleeding game for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a process and a learning curve for me, but I'm getting there.
It's been for all of us. That how all the systems work together, like the art and the coding and the sound, just make them all just work.
Yeah.
And you're doing this all in Unity. Are you guys using any assets that you bought from the asset store or anything like that?
No, it's all stock. Well, not stock. It's all custom made.
Yeah, it's all just original
you
content.
rolled your own everything, basically, right?
Yeah, of course, a lot of help from Google as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's how you develop, right?
Yeah, it's the best developer is Google.
Yeah.
Stack Overflow, Unity Answers.
Oh, for sure.
I love Unity Answers.
They're really
never
helpful.
Actually had to ask a question. They're all answered.
Exactly.
Already asked and already answered.
Yeah, I mean, like, how good is that? I mean, like 4 years ago, they're already all answered. Like, maybe I just don't have enough questions. So, where do you guys see the studio in like 5 years?
Hopefully Japan.
Japan?
I want to move to Japan. I don't know about Cornell and Rob, but I really want to move there.
Well, you could work remotely, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, this whole game has been
was Germany,
remotely. Yes, that's true.
Again, Cornell?
No, I'm saying it used to be Germany up until like
I changed my mind a
ago.
lot.
Adrian was like, nah, now he wants to go to Japan.
So you're a
I
traveler.
just want to go everywhere, man.
Travel is
But
good.
working remotely actually isn't that much of a struggle for us because
This whole game
Obviously,
was made remotely due to the whole
yes,
virus and everything.
we only saw each other since we started making this game. We only saw each other like 2 weeks ago, because once we started properly in April, South Africa went into lockdown, so we weren't allowed to go anywhere. So this whole game was made during lockdown. So this game was basically made over
through Discord.
Yeah, so many Discord calls.
Yeah, you know, I think Discord's a great way to work remotely, and from this COVID stuff, that's what I'm hearing mostly, is that people are working remotely more now than ever, because they have to, and also it works pretty well. Technology is pretty good at that. You know, collab on Unity is a great way to send the project. You've got all types of Google Drive, Dropbox, whatever you want. You know,
GitHub.
Yep, GitHub.
Yeah. So far, it's kind of been working for us.
Yeah,
that's been great.
And you mentioned you're in South Africa. We haven't really gone into that, and I'm in the U.S., so I have no idea, other than District 9. I have no idea what it's like in South Africa.
Exactly.
Well, my pet lion died the other day, so it's quite sad, actually.
Chappie, right? Chappie as well.
Oh yeah, Chappie. But like Corné said, now it's exactly like District 9. That's
So I imagine you guys listen to Die Antwoord all the time, right?
Non-stop.
I'm just kidding.
Non-stop.
But what's it like there as far as the industry scene?
I actually don't know. There isn't really an industry. Yeah, there isn't really a game development industry here. Not as far as we know.
Except for Boot Fighter, but that's a more like South African-based game, aimed for South Africans.
Yeah, I mean there are a handful of gaming studios. I think I know of maybe 2 or 3, but other than that, there isn't really much of a scene in South Africa.
Wow.
I mean, they're like getting full ways.
And how about like tech startups?
We don't have that here because we checked Kickstarter and what's the other one? Indiegogo, and they don't allow South Africans.
Wow.
Really? We're not allowed? I didn't even know that.
You have to have an American or European account or Japanese account or something like that, but South African accounts aren't supported on the site.
I've heard of that before when I was working with a Russian developer who wasn't able to access Indiegogo, I believe.
We can access it and we can do it ourselves, but we can't start our own campaign on Indiegogo or Kickstarter. Yeah.
And that's what he did. He used someone else's account to run it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It fell through anyways, so whatever. That happens sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, that project wasn't that great of a project to be involved with anyways, so I'm glad I'm not part of it anymore. Sometimes that happens. So let's see. I'm trying to come up with more questions here. So you kind of jumped around on the 3 to 5 or the 3 to 5 year question, right? So in like, I guess I said 5 years, but in 5 years, this game's going to be out. Is there going to be another game out, you think, in 5 years?
Yeah. So I'm hoping for at least 3 games by 5 years from now.
3 games.
I don't know about Rob and Corné, but of course we actually want to grow this company.
Yeah. The team size. How many roles are you trying to fill, do you think? Or I guess you're gonna wait till you find out the game, right?
I think the main priority now after Hex will be, of course, to get more 3D designers and everything, because Corné will not be able to do everything on his own, because 3D design, as you might know, takes time.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a ton of us out.
A lot of work.
Hey, Corné?
Yeah, we'll need, just a lot more roles that go along with 3D, like lighting and texturing and animation is a massive part. So.
Oh yeah, rigging.
Rigging and.
Yeah, I guess as the game grows, we'll kind of grow the team from there.
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see more from Solis Studios.
Yeah, we've got a lot of ideas already brewing. It helps that Adrian doesn't sleep and he just thinks of new gaming ideas. So
yeah, I have a lot of issues with. I have like pure insomnia. Well, not insomnia, insomnia. So I just wake up every night for like 5 hours and just come up with a bunch of ideas. And I pitch them to Cornell and Rob, and then they hate it. And I'm like, okay, fine. And next night I just come up with another idea, and I pitch it, and I'm like, cool, they like it. And we put it in the backlog, and then repeat every day.
Yeah, so there's a lot in the pipeline.
That's awesome. How about advice for other developers that are starting out, or just advice that you've heard that helped you?
I think
probably the best one is just
A big thing for me is being able to take criticism. I think that breaks a lot of people in any creative industry. They can kill your passion quickly, and I think you should just be able to demotivate you a lot. It can break a lot of people. So I think you should be able to take that and take the aspects from it and see if you can improve on that. But sometimes you just have to say, well, it doesn't really matter what this guy said.
Yeah, that thick skin is super useful as a developer.
Yeah,
you gotta have ears too. You gotta listen, but you gotta.
You have to be open for suggestions and everything as well. Because ultimately you're making this game for players, not just for yourself. So you have to be open for any other suggestions or criticism, as Cornell said.
Yeah,
that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, there are games that get made where the developer they're making it for themselves and they don't really care. And sometimes those do well, but it's really, really, really rare that those do well because, most of the time it takes a community to make a game.
One thing also I want to mention is start off small, because if you bite the whole elephant, you're not going to make it. You're just going to get demotivated as well and just give up.
Starting small, that's another really, really great piece of advice. My first game, I think I spent 2.5, 3 years on it. Well, I guess this wasn't even my first game. This is maybe 5 years into my career as a developer, and I was still making games that were completely overscoped. I had to cancel that game after 2.5 years of working on it because it was just I never scoped it correctly to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, us with Oswald, we came up with the idea before Hex, and halfway through we realized this is going to take a lot longer than we thought.
Yeah. Now, is that project still on the shelf, or is that just something that you're probably never going to go back to?
I think that's an abandoned project.
And that happens.
We might use it, might not. We'll see.
Well, that's really great advice.
And Rob, any sound advice from your side? Have big ears.
For me, it's always just about, like I said earlier, just exploring and kind of, messing around with ideas and not being afraid to experiment with things that might not necessarily feel like they fit into whatever you're trying to make, but trying out different things and trying out unconventional things and not being afraid to do something a bit different. Again,
really, really great advice. For me personally, when I think of that, I think in terms of marketing, that is extremely valuable. Especially if you have a game where you're not, if you're copying someone else, it gets easier because you can just copy what they did. But if the game is not really a copy at all, it gets really difficult to know what's gonna do well.
Yeah, exactly. We actually had this idea for a marketing ploy to release Hex and price it at something ridiculous like $1 million. Yeah, or $1 million just for the first week. So we only have to sell one one copy, and then we'd be set.
That's good.
You know, YouTubers like Mr. Beast or someone will buy the game and like make clickbait video like I bought the most expensive game on Steam or something like that.
Yeah, you know, that could be scary though if like someone like charged back with like illegal keys or something like that.
Oh yeah,
You know
geez.
what I mean? That would be scary. But yeah, you know, despite that, what would be funny, right, is because, you know, Steam lets you do like sales, right? You could figure out the maximum percentage and then figure out a way to make it still the normal price, but only at that maximum sale. So like 99%.
Yeah, 99% off.
But I like that because, like I said, you got to experiment with your marketing, and sometimes guerrilla tactics work.
Yeah, I guess you have to you do what you have to get your name out and stand out from the crowd.
But it was unfortunate that Steam doesn't allow $1 million $1 million game, so we had to scratch that idea.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to end up with a bunch of chargebacks for $1 million, you never know.
Yeah,
might be, you know, someone might see that and see dollar signs. I don't know.
Yeah, it could go south very quickly.
Run it by your lawyer, yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I was gonna say something else and I forgot it. Oh, here we go. How about milestones? Have you crossed any big milestones? Clearly, you're on Steam. That's got to be one of them.
Yeah, the release is a big milestone for all three of us.
Yeah.
Now that you're saying the early access release was a big milestone, or the upcoming release is a big. Okay. Now, when is the upcoming like full release? Have you guys decided on a date for that, or are you still working it out?
Currently, we're aiming for 1 year of early access and then the final release. So maybe next year, June, July around. Don't quote us on that. We're not sure about it, but we're aiming for at least a year for the early access.
That's understandable. And for anyone who's listening and hasn't seen the game, it looks extremely polished for being only 4 months in development. So I can only imagine what a whole nother year of development is going to do to this project.
It might be a completely different game by then.
This game has changed a lot from the original idea up until now. This game is nothing like the original idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that next game you'll have learned from this game, and hopefully you won't have to make as many drastic changes later in the development. But I have a feeling that this is going to test pretty well.
So far, the response has been. So far, the response we've gotten has been great. So, we're kind of just building it off of that.
Yeah, we also have a lot of French players who love the game. I don't know what's going on in France, but they're buying it.
That's great.
Interesting.
Yeah, most of our sales are from France. It's quite strange. Probably a famous French YouTuber made a video about it. I'm not sure.
Sure, or maybe a blogger or something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah, at one point I was getting a bunch of downloads from Brazil, and I was like, huh. And then I looked where they were coming from, and they were coming from a Brazilian blog about this software Piskel that I started with before I changed to Aseprite. I was using this other free software called Piskel, and this guy was writing an article about Piskel, put my game in there, put screenshots of my game, talked about me, and I still get downloads from that site. Just kind of that was like
amazing what power people have.
Funny. It's funny how it works out that your sales come from a country that you never even thought it would.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to like maybe think about localization and localizing the game in France as well.
Right. That's
or in French.
Yeah, adding
that's
some
one aspect, but then also think of all the other countries.
Courtney, how's your French?
Oh, geez, I'm gonna have to learn a new language.
Hey, we have French players. You can ask them to translate, but they might actually translate it into something very terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We went into Rob's career history, but we didn't talk about anyone else's careers outside of games. Does anyone else care to go into that? I mean, we could skip over it, but
I don't mind, Corneille.
Yeah, we can go for it. Well, you can go first.
Okay, so I never went to study. I graduated high school and then worked for a software company who works in the quarries here in South Africa, all the mining quarries and everything. So it's called Cornerstone Software. So I was help desk there, trying to learn how the software works, and I really wanted to be a developer and didn't really know much about coding. Because in high school we learned Delphi, and nobody uses Delphi.
yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, it's a really old programming language that barely anybody uses now. So he wrote the system in C#, and there's the time where C# really was booming in the industry.
Okay.
So I went there on the help desk and trying to figure out how the whole thing works, and then I resigned there later on because I never actually got into any development.
Oh.
And then I tried websites, making my own website. So I started Solis Studios actually in 2017. And that's when I started making websites for people around my area and everything.
Wow.
And then this one company contacted me saying they want a developer for their digital signature company.
Very
And
cool.
just to keep them anonymous, I'm not going to say the name, but they hired me and they actually really built me up, and I learned a lot from them and really appreciate them. But I was working there for 2 years, and that was when Corneille messaged me and asked if I want to make a game. It's like, yeah, sure. So we started with the game, and then end of March this year, just right before South Africa lockdown, I resigned there. I just started game development full time.
Wow, that's super impressive. Not only you ending up into software without getting the traditional education of software, your engineering background stuff, that takes a ton of effort. I didn't take any computer science classes, so all of my training is self-taught. But I don't think a lot of software companies would want to hire me outside of games. So that's really cool that you were able to do that.
Yeah, I was really lucky to meet them. Actually, met them in the restaurant. The one guy's girlfriend was a waitress there, and that's how they actually contacted me.
Wow, that's so cool. And then also, it takes so much guts to quit to work on games.
Sorry about my language, but I felt like an asshole when I resigned there because it really taught me a lot, and it really helped me a lot in my my industry.
You gotta do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And if someone helped you, that's great. You can thank them. Hopefully they did it to be helpful, not to help themselves,
But they were really supportive about my idea, and I said, yeah, you're young, go for it.
That's awesome. That's so cool. How about you, Cornelius? You want to go into your career?
Yeah, so I studied graphic design 2 years.
Okay.
And then I was working for a company that did like vehicle branding. So I was a designer there for like 2 years or so. And eventually I just kind of got over it. And I got into like modeling, and I went to Singapore.
Yes, pretty boy.
The face of the company.
And the voice.
Yeah, it was, and the voice.
So when you say modeling, you actually mean like getting photographed by photographers and stuff?
Yeah, like nude modeling, all that.
I'm actually on free pick.
This freepick.com/Corneille. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Yeah, so from there, I've been freelancing with graphic design. Also giving up that job security and stuff was tough in the beginning, but eventually got to a place where I was I had enough of a client base, and me and Rob also like got together because I started getting more into video and animation. So we started a company together, and yeah, so
you're paying the bills with
been doing a lot of
now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is super impressive.
But yeah, it's like I said, it was tough in the beginning, but actually, like during lockdown, it's been going very well. A lot of especially since I got into 2D animation, like it really opened a lot of doors for me.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to just take that leap, but finding the client base is not easy. And then I don't know about you, man, but commissions, sometimes you're just pulling your hair out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've actually been lucky. Like, I've got a solid client base that they pay well, and they don't hassle me, and yeah, I've been very fortunate, and I'm doing stuff that I really enjoy. I'm not sitting for hours on end doing designs and stuff that I really hate. So
wow, that's super cool.
And I know that it's not going, the money is not going into someone else's pocket for my hard work. So
right. So you probably had to deal with all types of stuff before you got to that point, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it does come with a lot of issues and stuff.
Do you have any specific or design-specific tips for freelancers?
I think like the big thing I had to realize is you shouldn't be scared to name your price, because especially in the design world, people will take advantage of you quickly, and they expect you to do something for free, or they want it for next to nothing.
Do it over again 12 times.
But the big thing is, like, if you're gonna charge someone a small amount that you don't think your work is worth that, and you do that work, you're gonna resent them, and you're gonna resent doing the work, and you're also not gonna give your, put your full, full amount of time, or, you're not gonna do as good a job, and then, yeah, it can bite you in the ass. So if someone's willing to pay, then you're gonna be happy to do it, and you're gonna be happy because you're getting your money's worth. They're gonna be happy because they're getting a great design. Yeah.
And I feel like what you have to do there is, like, I mean, it doesn't sound easy the way you've described it, but it's actually a lot more difficult than it sounds, because you have to figure out, first of all, you got to figure out your overhead, right? You got rent, you got food, you got maybe a dog or a cat or kids, family, whatever it is. You got to pay for your own bills. So you got to do that. You got to make that much. And then you got to figure out how much time you actually have to work, and how many clients you can fit into that, how many projects you can fit into that, and then divide that by how much you can charge each person for what project to actually get your bills paid. And then your bills need to get paid in the end, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm impressed. I'm super impressed.
Yeah, no, it took a while to get there, but yeah, like the big thing is you're on your own clock. You're not on someone else's clock. So
that's true.
So you can play Dota all day and work all night.
Yeah.
You can make your break, right? You can work in your underwear, or you could not work at all.
Yeah, I've been in lockdown for 3 years now.
And that brings up another point, though. When you're working from home, you kind of have to go out of your way to have social interactions.
Yeah, you can kind of get like cabin fever.
Oh yeah, and it's important
You
to
have to make a point
reality
of it.
checks. Talk to people and be like, "Hey,
Yeah,
am I still
absolutely.
working correctly? Do I need a hard reset?" You know?
Yeah, the big thing is you don't really switch off. That's like if you're working for yourself, you don't just get home and you can switch off. You know, you've got stuff
You just always want to work or do
constantly that
something.
you have to think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that too. And for me, one of the biggest things is dealing with the stress of that. Because when you don't shut off, you're not ever like releasing that tension. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously posture is going to help a lot. Being active, only working for like an hour and a half at a time, and then taking 15, 20-minute breaks, you know, trying to go jog or do some push-ups or something. All that's really going to help.
Yeah.
For anyone out there who's trying to go full-time, like on your own, freelancing and stuff, like definitely take that into
Try
consideration.
the routine.
Yes.
Yeah, it's important to have a balance.
So I feel like now we've got everything covered, you know, as far as your backgrounds, your careers, the game itself. Is there anything that I missed?
I think I think of.
Yeah, no, nothing comes to mind right now.
We already talked about the future of the company and the game, and yeah, the past.
Future and the past and the present.
Yeah, and the present.
What would
Well,
you
yeah.
like to say to potential players?
Reach for your dreams.
What was that? I missed it.
You too can hack for game or can hack banks.
Reach for your dreams.
Okay, don't go hack real banks, please.
Please don't hack real banks.
This
Yeah,
game
this
doesn't
is
teach you
the
anything.
You can learn how this way without getting caught.
Yeah, because
We
we're all
are not
hacking as pipes and
responsible.
stuff. Look, if you hack a bank using our in-game methods, then you deserve to hack that bank.
No banks were harmed during the making of this game.
Exactly.
No, just our previous high schools.
Our own bank accounts.
Yeah, that actually took a toll.
Right on. So how about any more plugs? Any super fans? Any thank you, mom? Like, who would you like to thank here?
Well, I guess we can go to best developers here, Cornelia and Rob. I'm just here for the fun.
Sounds like fun.
I really didn't do anything for this game. I just bossed them around, basically. They did all the coding as well, including Rob.
I think the big thing is if anyone's interested and would like to join our community or reach out, we're available on pretty much all the big social media platforms. We're available on Discord. So people should feel free to reach out and connect with us. We're always open to any feedback and any suggestions, and just if anyone wants to chat, just reach out.
And it seems like a really good way to do that would be to just download the demo, which has the links right on the bottom of the title screen. But it sounds like
I don't think the demo has the Discord link, but our website has everything on it.
All right. So what's the best way to find your Discord?
If you just go to solisstudios.com, you can also find our Discord link at the bottom, and
the website
also if you buy the full game.
We'll update the demo though.
So Solis Studios has a hyphen. Solis Studios is hyphenated.com, and there has all the links. So that is the best way to do it. Right? Although I'm
actually, I think we're missing the Discord.
Yeah, I'm on the website now.
Let me quickly add that to our talk.
Okay.
So now we know why your Discord's not as full as it should be. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, that's Cornell drew out the three of us there at the bottom.
Right on.
Oh,
No, I haven't actually been to the Discord, so that was completely a joke. I do not know how well it's going.
But soon you'll be able to go to the website and get in contact, reach out on all the platforms.
Very cool. And you're also on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, all of the places.
Yeah. Wherever people go for any type of social media, we're there.
Okay. Well, I feel like we've covered pretty much everything. It sounds like there's nothing else that you guys want to talk about. I want to thank you guys a ton for not only providing me with the key for early access, but for reaching out to me and showing me this awesome game, because I wouldn't have known about it had you not reached out to me.
Yeah, cool. But thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, absolutely, definitely. And honestly, I'd love to have you back on later, maybe in a year or so after the release, and ask how it did and see where you're going on your next project and see the changes in the studio.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, we'll call it there, and thank you again.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much
for having us.
All right.
It's been great.
Okay,
I updated website, so our Discord link is now on there. Just plugging that in there real quick.
That was extremely quick.
I don't take shit.
Now that is customer service right there.
We had a issue yesterday. One person from France actually Facebook messaged us. They were like, "Listen, we can't join each other on the game." And I was like, "What?" And I quickly went in and I saw the bug. I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I quickly fixed it, and I just published it as well. So it's like within an hour it was fixed. Just plugging our own support in there.
Yeah, we're big on support.
If a player is having issues, they should email you right away, right?
Email us, Facebook message us, Twitter message us, Discord, Instagram, we're everywhere. Just if there's anything you want to talk about or there's issues, just let us know on all these platforms.
And if it doesn't get fixed in 30 minutes, it's free, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Cut that.
Yeah, I'll edit that out. Sorry, guys. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, I think we'll end the podcast here. You've been a ton of fun. Thanks again. And goodbye, everyone. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thanks, man. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to episode 12 of Indie Game Dev Report. Check out Hex Hacking Simulator on Steam. It's in early access right now. Stay tuned for more Indie Game Dev Report in the future. And everyone, have a great rest of your day.